Good morning, y'all. Just dropped the little one off at school, and today's kind of a little bit different for me because I ate breakfast before I left the house this morning. Normally I don't do that, but this morning I had a little free time, so I fixed me a nice big bowl of oatmeal and ate that for breakfast this morning, so I don't have to stop for that. But on the way to school, cat ran across the street in front of me, made me think of something. My neighbor has had outdoor cats, like, I don't know, for years, and I don't mind, a couple of cats outside. They keep let me rephrase that, they should keep the snake population and the field mouse population, all that sort of stuff, down a little bit if they're not being overfed. The problem is that she was grossly overfeeding these cats, so all they did was just lay around all day long and go back and forth to their food bowl. They weren't doing any hunting. And she also, she kind of, I guess, had a soft spot for stray cats, and she took in a couple of stray cats and started feeding them, and one of them kind of hung out at my house, this big orange tomcat, and great big old thing. And he kind of hung out at my house, which was great because it didn't bother me too much. He would bring his little treasures up onto the porch. He'd kill a mouse and he'd bring it up on the porch, or he'd kill a snake and he'd bring it up on the porch. He always made sure that one of us saw it before he ate it. So, I knew that he was out and he was doing his job and he was keeping things away. And so I was fine with him being there. The problem is that one of those cats, of course, like I said, this one was a tomcat that kind of hung around my house. One of those cats that she had got pregnant, and I didn't think too much of it. I thought, well, she'll give the kittens away, she'll sell them, she'll do something with them. But she didn't. She kept them. And then those cats had kittens, and those cats had kittens, and so on and so forth. And before long, there were cats all over her yard. Now, granted, she didn't have any cats on the inside of the house. I don't think they were all outdoor cats, but they seemed like they were just everywhere. And I was not okay with it, so to speak. I don't particularly care to have that many cats, but for the most part, they stayed on her side of the fence and stayed over there, so that it wasn't any of my business. When it became my business is when there were so many cats in her yard that a few of them decided to start using my yard as their litter box. And not just my yard, but my front yard where my 6-year-old likes to go outside and play. And that I've got a problem with. That's not good. And on top of that, at the first of the spring this year, I killed 2 copperheads in my yard, and I saw 2 other just little rat snake, just little grass snake type, nothing snakes, no harm, no foul snakes. So that alone tells me the cats are being overfed because there are too many cats around here for me to be seeing any kind of snakes or mice or anything like that in my yard. And it's not uncommon where I'm at to see snakes and field mice, because I've got a hayfield that butts right up against the back of my house, or not my house, but back of my yard. And so it's not uncommon for me to see these things, but with that many cats, I shouldn't be, because they were in my yard and there were cats there all the time. And the thing I think that broke the camel's back for me, the straw that broke the camel's back, was I've got a 1993 Jeep Wide-Jetty. And I'd sit in my carport at my house, and well, it needs a new top on it. The zippers are wore out, they won't zip anymore, and so there's gaps. Well, one of those cats found one of those gaps in my window and got inside my Jeep and had a litter of kittens inside my Jeep on my carpeted floor. That I'm not going to deal with. That's gone too far. So I started setting out a live trap so that I could relocate these cats a little at a time. And I wasn't secretive about it. I mean, I didn't like hide the trap or anything like that. I had it sitting in my yard. I had it sitting on my porch. I put it in my carport, you know, different places like that. It was clearly visible from the neighbor's yard. You know, I wasn't trying to hide anything. And I would catch these cats and I would relocate them. Well, I ended up relocating 7 cats in about a week's time, maybe a week and a half. I relocated 7 cats. Well, I guess she kind of had noticed, and maybe, I don't know, maybe she didn't want to cause trouble or something. So she caught me out by the fence a week or two later, and she said, "Hey, I just wanted you to know I got sick of having all these cats around here." So I told the grandkids the cats had to go, and me and my brother started catching cats and taking them to a no-kill shelter, and you know, giving them away, letting them go. And she goes, "Do you know that I caught and relocated 27 cats?" Like, oh my God, 27 cats. And I relocated 7 of them, so that makes 34 cats that this lady had at her house. Oh my gosh, I mean, how do you even allow that to happen? I mean, at some point you've got to think, okay, enough is enough. There's too many cats around here. But she had 34 cats on her property, and she said that she was going through 25 pounds of cat food every week. 25 pounds of dry cat food every week, because she kept filling this automatic feeder and just letting the cats have a free-for-all at this automatic feeder under her carport at her house. Like, oh my God, I can't fathom how that could even happen. And I don't know, but all that being said, she's gotten rid of all of her cats, and I've gotten rid of the 7 that were kind of hanging around at my house all the time, and so they are gone now, and it's not going to be a major issue anymore. Of course, now I have to watch out for snakes, but my daughter needs to learn how to watch for snakes anyway. I mean, I grew up in the country. I grew up in West Texas, well, West and kind of some in South Texas as well, and we didn't see a lot of copperheads down there. We mainly saw western diamondback. That's the main venomous snake that we saw. We would come across a copperhead now and again, but not very often. It was almost always western diamondbacks. And I've killed 1 diamondback rattler here at the house in North Texas, but most of what I've killed here have been copperheads. We see copperheads all the time. That's just a thing. In fact, there was a lady that I picked up on the ambulance one time that she'd been bitten by a snake, and I went to her house to get her, and I asked her, I said, "Well, did you see the snake?" She said, "Yeah, I saw it." She goes, "It was a copperhead." And I said, "You're certain it was a copperhead?" She goes, "Oh yeah." She goes, "I know it was a copperhead." She goes, "We were working on the flower bed and cleaning out underneath the bushes and everything." She goes, "I'd already seen 3 little baby copperheads, and we'd killed 3 baby copperheads this morning." And she goes, and so I knew I was gonna, there's a chance that we had a den around here or something. She goes, and I put my hand up underneath there to get underneath this bush to get some leaves out, and that's when it got me. I'm like, good Lord, woman, you've already removed 3 copperheads from your flower bed, and you're still sticking your hands underneath the bush where you can't see? Like, obviously you grew up in the country, because a city girl ain't gonna do that. Y'all have a good day.